We are here in Piccadilly Circus. Can you hear the Christmas music starting? I kind of love it. Let me show you. Hold on. Yeah, this place is crawling with tourists, myself included, but I had to visit Piccadilly Circus. It's one of the most famous intersections in the world, but the architecture is amazing. The street performers are mind-blowing down here, and I just love this sense of excitement that is down here, the vitality. It was fun. Now, I can't imagine living in London and trying to get through this area in the mob of tourists. I would absolutely hate it. But if you're visiting London, I would definitely stop by.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to see somebody who outdrew you.
To the Victoria and Albert Museum for fashion and David Bowie, which
I don't think David Bowie's on anymore.
David Bowie might not be on anymore,
I didn't see it on the
which
website.
would make me very, very sad. But I'm still very excited to head there. And you know what I've been loving about London so much is like every area has its own personality. So like the buildings look different, the way everything is. I don't know. I'm just really loving it. So,
Which is good, because it'd be terrible if you hate it.
yes, yeah, it would be. Hey, Caroline, do you like London?
Well, yeah, obviously I like London. I do live here, but yes.
And she has not come back home yet, so.
And it's serious.
Nice little pedestrian walkway. Because I will say the sidewalks are very skinny here. They're not really made for walking, but when you think of how old this city is, they've kind of made do, it seems. And I think that gives it its very unique characteristics. And the other nice thing is that just about all the museums here are free to get in. I think some of the special exhibits might have a fee to them, but oh, look how pretty it looks. It's a little Christmas displays. Okay. It just really, really struck me, especially because we're coming up on Remembrance Day here in Britain. But standing here in front of the museum, you can definitely see what war will leave its mark behind. And I'm finding myself extremely emotional about it, especially with all the scary stuff that's going on in the world. I'm not going to get political, but let's just say it's kind of scary to be American right now. And we shouldn't forget. We need to remember sacrifices of the past. Not just in stone, but in blood. Okay, this dress is gorgeous, right? Think about that. Only $18.28. Now, also realize that it is made not just from silk, but also with pineapple fiber. I mean, my mind is so blown right now. No idea. This dress is from the 1800s, inspired by Kew Gardens, and embroidered with these amazing ferns. Absolutely gorgeous. But what has my attention is the frickin' darts. They're darts, but they're different. Seems like a cross between a dart and a pinprick. It's amazing French walking dress from 1885. I love the tone on tone and the textures. It's so gorgeous. It is Givenchy, worn by Leslie Carroll. I love the asymmetrical buttons and even the skirt. Each gore is still black but in a different texture, and I can't tell if it's like a taffeta and one is like a textured wool. A tiny miniature day dress. Lovely picture, lovely bride, lovely dress. From 1923, but it does no justice to the real thing. Still gleaming brightly after all this time. Charles James from 1937, which, by the way, really look at that print. How amazing is that? Yeah.
Now the other one is this phantom barmaid. Now she apparently was a lady dressed in 19th century dress with an old white frock on. And she would go to one of the back rooms and she would have with her a silver tray in a very archaic style. In a strange language, she would ask people, barely in English, if they would like to give their drinks order. Well, they would do this, and of course they would happily give it while she wrote it all down, and then they would sit and they would wait. And wait. And wait. And apparently she would never come back. So eventually someone would get really exasperated and they would go up to the bar and slam their hand down and say, "Excuse me, we gave our drinks order to that strange talking woman in the weird clothing. We've had nothing. What's going on?" And the landlord, who knew about this story of a phantom ghost barmaid, would simply lean forward and say, "I'm so sorry, we don't do table service."
This, of course, meant that you would be a target for thieves and highwaymen, who used to take advantage of the quiet heath to prey on unsuspecting travellers.
We are currently walking through Hampstead Heath in the dark. I don't know if you guys can see anything, but
The biggest threat to Jen is falling down and breaking my ankle, by the way.
yeah, apparently my tights are making my shoes very slippery, and I keep slipping off of them. It's a problem. So we are going to solve it by going to another pub and having another pint.
We're going to go drink more. That's how we're going to solve this problem.
Yep. And then I'm going to start hanging on to Caroline. Because if I'm going down, I'm not going down alone.
Moonlight swims, they also report seeing some strange things. Phantom splashes, phantom footsteps, and also occasionally the figure of a dead body that disappears on closer inspection.
But the other two are far more recent. One is said to be a monk. Now, he would be a monk in a grey cassock or brown robe with a hood over his head and a huge, great big Bible. And apparently he would go around appearing at a very particular time every evening, and he would go and proselytise on religion. Not only that, but when he saw people drinking, this would quite upset him, and he would lecture them on the demon drink.
And what of this one? Partaking of evil spirits. Ye all sinners, all cast for hell with your demon hound.
That's right. You tell him. You tell him.
Down ye all!
Now, of course, we wouldn't expect you to think that there's a real vampire stalking the cemetery. What we do know is that Bram Stoker himself is said to have visited Highgate Cemetery and saw some of the tombs, and some of this was inspiration for one of his characters, Lucy Westenra. The only solution, then, is to be prepared for their lasting encounter, because they will try and attack you again. What you need is a wooden stake which you bring down like this, straight through their heart. And of course, this will finally destroy them, end them, make them go back from whence they came, or even to another part of the church, doesn't matter really. And that will be the end of them. And that, my friends, is how you deal with a vampire. Thank you very much.
Our tour and our night ended at this really cool, amazing, and yes, haunted pub in Highgate. And look, there's puppies! Makes it all better, right? And of course, I did pet the puppy, and the puppy was very sweet and very cute, and the human was very nice as well. But we basically closed up the pub, just having some pints and chatting with some friends that we had met on the tour. And this tour was so much fun. It was funny, it was silly, but there was still a lot of great historical and ghosty stories and facts, and I absolutely had a blast on this tour. If you like the London vlogs, make sure you go ahead and click that thumbs up. And if you want to check out day one, go ahead and hit that card that you see on the screen. And there will be more vlogs coming, so you don't want to miss those. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, so that way you don't miss a thing. So go ahead, click on my face to subscribe. And also, if you want to shop my clothing line, go ahead and click on that boomerang that you see right there. And that right there, that video, that is my last video that came out. And of course, if you're going to miss me between uploads, be sure to follow me on all the social medias as Vintage Vanity. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!